Hello and welcome back to Hail to the Deadites. It's November now. I just want to apologize. I had so many more cool video ideas to do in October, especially Halloween themed ones, and I just never got around to doing them. I don't know if it's just like a curse, but I feel like ever since I started really getting into Halloween and stuff, probably around when I was finishing high school, every single October has been so shitty. And every Halloween has just been so mediocre and falls flat. And I just had so much going on last month that I just did not have the time to sit down and make the really cool videos I wanted to make. So I'm sorry about that. So there's not a whole lot of Evil Dead updates to give today, unfortunately. But I still thought where it's been a bit since I've done a video, it'd be cool to sit down this morning and just go over some stuff I found online that I thought was pretty cool. I've got like a Reddit thread of cut content from the Evil Dead game that I thought would be cool to go over, and then just finishing up Lee Cronin's Halloween behind the scenes photos. So that's the agenda for today. So I guess we'll get started on this cut content leak mega thread. This is from the hugest of asses. The hewest of jasses, I guess, on Reddit in a subreddit called EDTG community, and it's a mega thread, so I guess we will just go through it link by link and see what's up. So the first thing is a cut objective or a side objective of the Nobi tapes. It says here, earlier in game dev, one of the objectives was to collect Nobi tapes. The attached images detail the script that the VA would read to explain their purpose and mechanic. And then it says, would be fun to see these brought back in a new game mode, but no new content for the game ever again. Okay, let's take a peek at this. So it looks like for the most part, it's Professor Nobi helping you locate the missing Nobi tapes. And then there's some lines from Annie saying that she knows where the tapes would be or whatever. And then we've got some stuff from the narrator. I think this is probably from the demon point of view, because it says like, we relied on you to defeat the living. Now they've gathered the tapes, redeem yourself, yada yada. So cool. We'll take a look at the third slide. This says a tape is being taken. This is a really cool in-game screenshot. I think that with the tapes right there actually looks really cool. And this would have been cool to implement into the game. Just to give a bit more backstory to the Nobi tapes. Like, I know you get them when you beat the missions, but I do think it would have been cool to have them in-game to find. But, you know, unfortunately. And then what do we have here? This is another in-game screenshot. Yeah, this is old. Look at those character pictures. This is like pre-beta test probably. Find the Nobi tapes and cast the spell. So it wasn't getting, you know, like the dagger in the book, like you had to find the tapes to beat the mission. I think that's kind of cool. I think that's interesting. Moving on, we've got, I think I talked about this in a previous episode, but the Lost mission, Adios Eligos, and this was a mission with Kelly and Ash. Oh, what's this? What is this last picture? Oh, these are textures from in the game. We've got leeches there, chicken blood, holy water. That's cool. I didn't realize, like, I don't know. I am dating a game developer, and like I live with the game developer that I'm dating, and he does a lot of 2D stuff, like sort of more pixel art stuff. So I never get to really see this side of game development with like 3D textures and stuff, so it's really cool to see. And yeah, I think we went over this mission in a previous video and the screenshots and stuff. So moving on, this is possible Chet ability. In the game's code, there is a string referencing two abilities, Party All Day and Party All Night. However, with the release of Brock, who also features an ability referencing a party, and with the above code scrubbed, it is unknown if this string was repurposed for Brock and Chet has been scrapped. It's been a while since I rewatched the show, but if I'm thinking of a character that's like a party animal who's sort of like ultimate would be party related, I would go with Chet. And I definitely do think that there was plans to put Chet in the game. I know it never sort of came to fruition, but I don't know. I think if they were still developing content, we probably would have seen Chet and Brandy be added in like the next Ash vs. Evil Dead update. So it kind of sucks that that will never happen. Same with Evil Dead Rise. It would be really cool if we had gotten Evil Dead Rise stuff in the game, but that never happened. No shame to the developer team and the companies behind it. It's just unfortunate. So moving on, we've got some cut weapons. We've got another shotgun. I don't know what kind of gun that is. Another boomstick. A knife that says Ed. And then 2 axes. Found on the official Evil Dead game website, the renders for unused weapons. Oh, here we go. KSG 12 styled shotgun, Sonoff Remington-esque shotgun, Kukri? Kukri? Is that how I say it? Interestingly, the lumberjack axe has a different texture here than in the final game. Then we've got, this is from the art book. I have the art book because I got like the Ultimate Collector's Edition of the game when it came out, but I've never actually like gone through it. Like it's sort of just sitting on my shelf. So I need to like go through it because I've never actually looked at it. And maybe there's stuff in there that I could talk about, even though the game isn't really being developed anymore. So this looks like some S-Mart stuff, like sales. So maybe this was for like a more advanced cosmetic shop, because like, I don't know, you could go in and like pick different outfits for your characters, but it feels like a lot of characters only had like one other outfit or even not at all. It would have been cool to have some different outfits and stuff. And I really liked the idea of them going with S-Mart for that stuff. One of the missed features from the game was a live store or cosmetic shop. While these posters were most likely used as concept for set dressing, it's likely these were scrapped due to licensing. They could easily be edited to be utilized in a storefront if it ever goes that way. Not gonna happen. Cause yeah, they couldn't use S-Mart in Ash vs. Evil Dead, right? They had to use like Value Mart or whatever, because they didn't have the rights to Army of Darkness when they were doing the first 2 seasons of the show, I think. Yeah, interesting. The whole the licensing of the Evil Dead movies and who owns what movie and stuff like that is my Roman Empire. I don't know if that meme is still like trending or whatever, but the ownership of Evil Dead movies and the content in them is my Roman Empire. So moving on, we've got some alternative Shemps designs. We've got like a Shemps Cola, a cherry Shemps Cola, and then an orange Shemps Cola. Another gem from the art book. There seems to have been 2 other Shemps variants that were seemingly scrapped, a cherry flavor and an orange flavor. Interestingly, Shemps seems to have been designed as a cola from the onset rather than as a beer like it is in Ash vs. Evil Dead. Whether these flavors impacted gameplay is unknown. It would have been cool if the flavors sort of impacted, like maybe like Shemps is the default and you get like 33% health, and then the cherry one is like 66%, and then like the orange one would be like a full health restoration. I don't know, it could have been cool to do something like that. And then Warlord cosmetic variations. That's probably supposed to say at some point. So at some point during the beta, one of the Warlord basics, who would then go on to wear the red leather jacket, wore a purple and green windbreaker. Why this was changed is unknown, but it was likely changed to keep brighter colors exclusive to survivors for gameplay reasons. Note the Ash vs. Evil Dead Necronomicon in the first screenshot. It's right there. And then, yeah. I mean, I never really thought about the colors in the game and sort of like if brighter colors or darker colors represent like a different class or whatever. I don't know. I need to study up more on the art book and see what they were talking about. And then finally, the last thing from this mega thread is Warlord Basics model change. Somewhere in development, the Warlord Basic, which sports a mohawk, used to be more generic. Nothing else really interesting. However, note the different Henrietta Idle pose and the proof of concept multiple outfits for the Warlord. Cool. Oh, look, it says here like $5.99, like get in store. So it definitely looks like there was plans for a cosmetic store, which would have been cool. And it, like, I know they can't really probably release stuff on the game anymore, but I think it would be cool if they could do like maybe another art book with stuff, you know, that they're not gonna be able to put in the game, obviously, but still for fans to see that maybe there were plans in the works. But then again, it's probably a licensing nightmare to do anything for the game, because like you've got to go to Renaissance Pictures and you've got to go to Stars and you've got to go to Warner Brothers and stuff. There's so many people that have to sign off on things. So I think that's another one of the reasons the game sort of fell apart, is just there was just probably too many hurdles to jump over to do anything. Okay, so we're going to finish going through Lee Cronin's Halloween behind the scenes photos. If you haven't seen the previous videos I've done, every day in October, Lee Cronin posted a different behind the scenes photo from Evil Dead Rise. I've gone through the first 16 in the other videos, so this is going to be from the 17th to October 31st. So first up, we've got, you don't just become a 3-headed marauder overnight, you've got to practice. This equipment required to pump souls, purging deadite vomit into the world. Chillin', you've got Alyssa Sutherland in the meat grinder thing. Looks cold. It looks like it'd be very cold blood. Then we've got large cleanup required. This is probably right after the elevator shot. Once again, lots of blood everywhere. It's kind of convenient that they decided to shoot this all on like built sets and not in a real building, because I can imagine if they were filming in an actual apartment building, cleaning up all that blood would be an insane amount of work. Especially if the building was still one that people lived in. Like, that would be a nightmare to clean up and stuff, because, I don't know, they typically only have one lobby or whatever. Then we've got an early makeup test for Deadite Danny. I think this one looks really cool, but, you know, I do prefer the completely blood-soaked look we got in the movie, and I think it fits a lot better if Bridget had puked all that blood and stuff on him, and then he just came out looking like this. It would be a little weird, so I'm glad they decided to do like a full blood-soaked look. Then we've got hanging out with Mr. Fonda. So we've got Mr. Fonda here with his guts hanging out. Then we've got Mommy and her blessed little Deadite offspring. This is probably behind the scenes of the hallway sequence. We've got Bridget and Danny and Ellie there on the floor. Then we've got scalping practice is vital. So this is from the opening of the movie. We've got Jessica and Teresa here, and this is probably just blocking out their scene. Then we've got Waiting for Danger. This is probably a rehearsal for Beth and Cass. Their little sequence here with the gate where it goes down before Cassie can get through and the Marauder takes her and all that. Then we've got prosthetic makeup test for Crispy Bridget. They did such a good job on the prosthetics for this movie. Everyone looks so good and stuff. I absolutely love it. Then we've got sculpting work underway for prosthetic Marauder Ellie. I can't believe this is a sculpt. Like, I think Alyssa Sutherland has such a unique face, and it's really cool that they were able to replicate it so well, like sculpted and stuff. Like, I find that every single sort of prosthetic, or even like, I don't know, like even the animatronics at Halloween Horror Nights look a lot like her. I think that's really awesome. Then we've got just Danny being Danny. We've got another blood-soaked Danny picture. Then this is from October 30th. It looks like he posted maybe more than one picture on the 30th. I think this is probably everyone traveling to set or something. Then we've got a new hero steps out of the darkness. This is Beth, probably in one of the locations they shot in, or maybe like an production office area outside of the actual building they shot in. And then finally, we've got Happy Halloween from your favorite film family. We've got Ellie, Cass, Danny, Bridget, and then finally a picture of Beth. And that is the Twitter thread for all the behind scenes photos of Evil Dead. I don't know if he has any more that he's going to share. I'd be really cool for that. But yeah, that's an awesome look at what the movie behind the scenes stuff was like, and some cool stuff we haven't seen before that didn't make it into the movie. So I think that's really, really awesome. I forgot I actually have a secret third thing to share. And this is really, really, really cool and very special to me and stuff. So one of my coworkers went to Frightmare in the Falls, and he knows I'm a big Evil Dead fan, and I'm working on his short film. So sort of as a thank you, he got me some autographs from the Evil Dead cast. So he got me an autograph from Betsy Baker. It says, 2G, keep smiling, Betsy Baker. And I love this one. We had Betsy on the podcast in one of the first episodes, and it was so cool, and she was such a sweetheart. So I'm really glad I have this. I'm probably going to put it up next to the painting I've done of Linda that I showed Betsy on that episode of the podcast. So really, really, really cool. And then I got an autograph from Teresa Tilley, who played Shelley. It says, enjoy my handwich, G, and then her autograph. So very, very cool. I don't own any autographed stuff. So this is just, it's so cool to have these in my possession, because obviously I do this. So Evil Dead's a big part of my life. So it's really cool to like finally have some autographed stuff, and it's like personalized. So I love it. I love it so much. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know how your Halloween was down in the comments, and if you did any sort of Evil Dead related costume or watch party or something, I'd love to hear about it. Thanks so much for watching again, and I'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to stay groovy.